Good afternoon. Everybody's there? Yeah. Today is a theater here, no? Nice place, huh? We've never been here.
But journalists are still connected only online.
Yeah, they see. They say, no, these are not journalists. They know them. Good afternoon to the interpreters. Let's go.
Okay, you have the floor.
I have the floor?
You can go.
Okay. No introduction?
I can make the formal introduction. Dear colleagues, good afternoon. Welcome to the press conference after the first in-person meeting of the foreign ministers in Luxembourg since the coronavirus influenced the ways how we are working. It was a long day. High Representative Josep Borrell will brief you on the main points on the agenda, and then you will be given the floor for your questions. Then you know the drill. Although we are in Luxembourg, the technicalities remain the same. You raise your hand, and then your mic will be open. But first, High Representative, you can go ahead.
Good afternoon. We have had a packed agenda today. I will try to summarize the most pressing issues from our discussions. First, on Nagorno-Karabakh, we heard the assessment from the French Foreign Minister on the efforts of the co-chairs of the Minsk group to stop the hostilities and to return to the negotiations. We discussed about how we could provide tangible support to the ceasefire agreed on the 10th of October. We stressed the importance that this ceasefire be respected, and ministers also stressed that all regional actors should contribute to stopping the armed confrontation and contribute toward peace. On Varosha, and the most recent NAFTA issue by Turkey, we have had a discussion and listening from our colleagues from Greece and Cyprus about the last events. We consider that the reopening of Varosha Beach undermines mutual trust, and ministers stress that such actions increase tensions and should be reversed. For us, it's of vital importance that the United Nations-led efforts on Cyprus settlement will be relaunched as soon as possible. Today is the day of the elections in the Turkish community in the island, and as soon as these elections has been finished, I think there's going to be a second round, if my information are good. We will support and ask United Nations to retake as soon as possible the Cyprus settlement, which can be an usual framework to deal about many issues. We consider that Turkey needs to engage actively in finding solutions and not to engage in a negative behavior. The latest NATEX announcement by Turkey affecting Greece and Cyprus maritime zones are also regrettable. This will lead to new tensions instead of contributing to the de-escalation efforts that we were calling for at the last European Union Council. We want to pursue on calling for it. On Belgrade-Pristina dialogue, our special representative Miroslav Lajcak informed the Council, and we remain determined to bring the dialogue to a successful conclusion, asking the parties to work in good faith in a spirit of compromise between the two of them. The success of this dialogue is key for the stability of the Western Balkans and for the European Union itself, and the Council expressed full support and unity for this work and a strong support from the work of Mr. Lajcak. On Belarus, I briefed the ministers with my phone call with Minister McKay last Friday. Last Friday I was in Ethiopia, but I could join Minister McKay, and I had a conversation with him. And I told him that the European Union is united in support of democratic freedoms and rights of Belarusian citizens, I stress that we are ready to engage and encourage an inclusive national dialogue, as well as the acceptance of the OSCE's mediation role. And today, ministers reconfirm that Mr. Lukashenko lacks any democratic legitimacy and gave their political green light to start preparing the next sanction package, which will include Lukashenko himself. Council conclusions on Belarus were adopted today, and they sent a clear message to the Belarusian authorities, saying that business as usual is no longer possible in our relations. The conclusions also include a very concrete package that the European Union is ready to offer for a new democratic Belarus. On Russia, we reaffirm the continued relevance of the 5 guiding principles decided in 2016. We insisted on the full implementation of the Minsk Agreement, and we consider it as a key condition for any substantial change in our EU-Russia relations. We also need to step up our support to Russian civil society, human rights defenders, and continue to foster building bridges between our people. We have discussed possible elements of a strong EU common response to the use of prohibited chemical nerve agent, implement the proposals done by France and Germany about restrictive measures against those linked to this assassination attempt. It has been a political agreement to implement these restrictive measures that will be done by the technical bodies of the Council. And finally, during the lunch, we had a discussion on Latin America and the Caribbean relationship. I think that there is a sense of urgency of the need to relaunch our inter-regional dialogue, given the economic and political importance of Latin America for Europe, and we discussed about how to do so. In particular, we talk about the Mercosur agreement, which is much more than a trade deal, and we noticed the recent vote in the European Parliament about this issue. We are ready to help our Latin American and Caribbean partners to address all the political and socio-economic challenges, and in addition to that, the environmental issue, which is one of the most important topics on our relationship with Latin America, taking into account the importance of the Amazonia as the lung of the world. We are ready to pursue together ambitious environmental and digital policies. I remembered my colleagues that the European Union firms have invested more in Latin America than in Russia, China, India and Japan together, which is quite amazing, and that together we represent 1/3 of the votes at the United Nations. This is a good example of how important are our economic relations and how important it is our political relationship. We have to continue building and developing this political strength. It was just by accident that this discussion on Latin America has taken place the 12th of October, which is the day, the National Day of Spain, in which we celebrate the arrival of Columbus to the new continent. But it was just by accident. It was not done on purpose, but it's a good sign of a strong relationship from a cultural, linguistic, and human point of view.